quick chat to you about the impact of child support policy and the failures of DV policy and family law policy on keeping our children together after separation, keeping our children connected to dads in particular. In this scenario, which is what came up this week, we've got mum, dad and 3 kids. The family separates. Mum makes an allegation of domestic violence based on the fact that she's fearful of dad. With that allegation, dad has restricted access to his kids. The police get involved, the child support agency gets involved, and he finds himself in front of the magistrate's court on an allegation of DV. While this is happening, dad's currently earning $80,000 a year. So he goes to the magistrate's court. He's basically told by a lawyer, if you didn't do it, you need to take it to a hearing. He spends $15,000 in the magistrate's court to find himself with a protection order in place. And that's taken up to 6 months potentially, where he's had no contact with his kids apart from maybe a phone call here and there. So he's pretty upset about that. So he comes out of the magistrate's court and the magistrate says to him, look, I don't care about the fact you haven't seen your kids. If you want to deal with that, you need to get it into the family court. So, and of course, the police have said the same thing. It's not a Mags Court issue. It's a a family law issue. You need to go to the family court. So, child support assessing, because he's got no access to his children, child support are assessing his income at $80,000, and that's what he's paying his child support at, with no nights with his kids. He's flat out getting a phone call. So he finds himself in the family court. He spends $150K and he gets 4 nights a fortnight. So he's pretty happy with that because it's been a roller coaster ride for him emotionally. He's struggled at work. He's had a real tough time finding the money. He's spent a lot of money, of his money and also his parents' money to get through the family court. But they've got 4 nights a fortnight and they think, fantastic, this is a great start. So he comes out of the family court and mum decides that she's not going to honour that 4 nights a fortnight. So he doesn't get time with his kids. He still gets a phone call here and there, or he might get a Saturday lunch at McDonald's or whatever. But no 4 nights a fortnight, which is what he paid $150K and probably 2 to 3 years of his time in the family court. So because of that, his mental health starts to fail and his income drops from $80,000 to $40,000. So, but the child support agency have decided that he has the capacity to earn $80,000, so that's what we're going to base your child support on. So he can't see his kids because of the parenting orders. She's ignoring them. He's now earning $40,000 a year, so his standard of living has reduced. Yet he's accruing debt because he's still told by child support that you earn $80,000. So he then finds himself losing his job because of failing mental health, and now he's working part-time for $22,000 a year. Child support agency is still assessing his income at $80,000, and he has to do something about it. So he gets hold of the Administrative Appeals Tribunal and he asks for their help. He goes and sees them and they say, look, fair enough, you went from 80 to 40 and now you're on 22,000. Let's assess your income at 45,000. That'll keep everybody happy. And that's what you'll now pay your child support at, even though he's only earning 22. So prior to that he was earning 40, but they've picked a little bit of it above 40 because they believe, look, realistically, he gets himself back on track. He'll be able to earn $80,000 a year. So they set his child support at 45, even though he's earning half that, and ignoring the fact that mum's still breaching the family court orders but not providing overnight time. So, of course, what happens then, his behaviour becomes more reckless. He finds himself back in front of the magistrate's court on breaches of domestic violence. He might find himself in jail, and he may also either commit serious acts of domestic violence or kill himself. What is the problem here? The real problem that we're seeing is while the system is dysfunctional and adversarial, had mum being held accountable for the 4 nights a fortnight back here when he spent his $150K for parenting orders, he'd still be earning $80,000 a year. The kids would have contact with their dad. His mental health would be good. He'd probably end up earning more than that because he's got a reason to stay connected to his kids and his family and be successful and probably re-partner and move on with his life. The failure, of course, is allowing mum to get away with breaching these orders. So if we hold mum accountable for the orders, all this other stuff wouldn't happen. And my guess is we could reduce the suicide rate almost overnight and keep fathers connected to their children. So I'd love to hear your feedback in regard to this. So questions, comments, concerns, pop them in the comments section below this video. And we'll keep pushing this as in part of our conversation about policy reform. And we'll see how we go this year with the new government. So that's all from me.